Hello, I'm going to explain you about bio-inorganic chemistry. So previous class I've explained about the essential elements, non-essential elements, importance of different elements. And today class we'll see the importance of the iron. Iron, the richest non-vegetarian dietary source of iron are liver, kidney, heart, fish, spleen, egg yolk, and so iron is the best essential element present mainly in the heme of the hemoglobin, and it's also present in myoglobin, cytochromes, and in iron storage proteins, ferritin, and hemocyte. An adult has 4 grams of iron in his body. So, in this bioinorganic chemistry, essential, non-essential elements, and in that macro element, what is essential macro element? It is iron. So, the sources for the richest vegetarian sources, I've told you liver. Non-vegetarian dietary sources are liver, kidneys, heart, fish, spleen, egg yolk, so on. And the vegetarian dietary sources are beans, peas, wheat, and other good sources are spinach, carrot, bananas, beef, cheese, tomatoes, potatoes, apple, orange, milk, so on. And the clinical importance. So the quantity, the normal diet where the iron varies from 15 to 20 milligrams per day. This is sufficient in almost all cases. So women require more iron than men. Some women do develop anemia caused by iron deficiency. In these cases, the diet must be altered to take in more iron-rich food, or dietary iron should be supplemented. Coming to the clinical importance, it helps in the iron deficiency leads to the iron anemia, iron deficiency, microcytic hypoglycemia. Overdoses create hemosiderosis. So the distribution is total iron in the body is equal almost to 4 grams. This amount is available in two forms. 75% the functional forms are hemoglobin 67%, myoglobin 7.5%, respiratory enzymes 0.5% in the form of cytochromes, and the non-functional forms are 25%. So I know the free iron is toxic. So iron bound to proteins, non-heme metalloproteins, it allows to be transported and stored in non-toxic forms. The stored forms are the transferrin 0.1% and for transport of the iron in blood, ferritin and hemosiderin 24.9%. Storage of the iron in tissues. Here are the sources which I have told you, the vegetarian sources. Cashew nuts, spinach, dark leafy vegetables, the dark chocolates, kidney beans, tomato paste, and soya sauce, the blackstrap molasses, vanilla, spirulina, apricots, and pumpkin seeds. Yeah, you can see the vegetarian sources, the great vegetarian sources for iron. And the functions, coming to functions of iron, there are It plays a vital role in our body. It's so much helpful for oxygen carry in the blood. Nowadays, the oxygen requirement has become more important in this pandemic situation. So the function of the iron plays a very important role. It's helpful for the formulation of the hemoglobin, binding oxygen to RBC and transport, formulation of cytochrome myoglobin. It is helpful for the regulation of the it is helpful for the regulation of the body temperature, useful for the muscle activity. Catecholamine metabolism is an important function of iron. It boosts the immune system. It is helpful in the brain development and function. And next, the thyroid functioning is also regulated for the functions as a function of the iron. Iron is an essential constituent for hemoglobin of blood. It carries oxygen from lungs to other tissues, as we have discussed, binding of the oxygen and transport. And it is helpful for the oxygen supply to muscles, a formulation of the cytochrome myoglobin. In the biological oxidation process, the cytochrome and some enzymes such as catalase, peroxidases contain iron. Cytochrome catalase biological oxidation that provides energy. It is helpful in development of RBCs, the red blood cells, and to the extent it present extend 5 to 6 millions per cubic centimeters in men, 4.5 to 5.5 millions per cubic centimeters in women. The development of these RBCs follow a number of stages for the synthesis of hemoglobin. If iron is not available, hemoglobin will not be synthesized, and it leads to the development of the erythrocytes. And similarly, oxidation in the nerve cells. Here, brain development and function, there you can see it has a relationship with the nerve cells. Iron is important in the nasal granule of the neurons, called catecholamine metabolism. Iron, it's important in the nasal granules of the neurons. These granules are seen only in resting state of the neurons. And when the neurons are active, the granules disappear. Thus, iron plays an important role in the metabolic oxidations. It has relation in the cell nucleus. Chromatin material of the nucleus contain iron. Once if there is a loss, there is a deficiency, you can find mental fatigue, hair loss, mouth ulcers, headaches. You can find sore throat. You can see here paleness due to anemia. Iron deficiency causes anemia, paleness. Mouth ulcers, sore throat, headaches, hair loss, mental fatigue. You can see infections, paleness on the skin. And there is a shortness of breath. Due to less iron, the hemoglobin gets reduced and the oxygen transportation and thereby shortness of breath can be observed. And carving non-food, you can see physical fatigue is exhausting, the brittle nails are the symptoms. Restless legs, cold intolerance, exhaustion for doing small works also. We can observe for the iron deficiency. So therefore, we've seen the importance of the iron and deficiency also we've seen. Now let us go for the importance of the cobalt. Cobalt, it has a great biological significance. It has got a great biological significance. First, we'll see the need of the cobalt. The sources of the cobalt, normal average weight contains 5 to 8 micrograms of cobalt, which is many times more than daily. So daily elements 1 to 2 micrograms of cyanocobalamin. It contains 0.045 to 0.99 micrograms of cobalt. The best food sources are liver, pancreas, mushroom, plant material. The chemical nature, you can see vitamin B12 is a complex multiple ring structure which includes cobalt atom. And functioning vitamin B12, cobalamin, it is derived cofactors are used for the two important relationships. Methyl malonyl OA isomerase requires 5-deoxyadenosine cobalamin. So this cobalamin contains the cobalt. And homocysteine, tetrahydrofolate in this pathway, the tetrahydrofolate methyl transferase requires methylcobalamin and N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. So vitamin B12 is absorbed from the ileum as a complex with intrinsic factor which is produced by gastric mucosa. And effect of deficiency, pernicious anemia. Once if there is deficiency in cobalt, we can observe pernicious anemia, degeneration of the spinal cord neurons, and oral manifestations, angular hyalosis, hemorrhagic gingiva halitosis, detachment of periodontal fibers can be observed. And cobalt, it is a constituent of vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. It requires to maintain the normal bone marrow functions for producing erythrocytes. Consequently, deficiency of cobalt results in limitation of vitamin B12, and this may lead to nutrition type of anemia, where excess of cobalt again it results in overproduction of erythrocytes, calling polycythemia. So there should be a balance between the cobalt. So excess and deficiency is not recommended. The polycythemic effect may be a pharmacological one due to the action of cobalt. It inhibits the respiratory enzymes. For example, if you take cytochrome oxidase, succinate dehydrogenase, and in ruminants, only in ruminants, cobalt deficiency results in anorexia, wasting of profound macrocytic anemia, fatty liver, hemosiderosis of spleen. All these can be observed due to the deficiency. As a part of vitamin B12, cobalt is essential to the RBC formation and it is even helpful for other cells. Cobalt as a part of vitamin B12, it is used to prevent anemia. And vitamin B12 is also beneficial for in cases of fatigue, digestive disorders, and neuromuscular problems. There are no other known uses except of the radioactive cobalt 60. It is used in the treatment of cancers. Coming to the deficiency and toxicity, toxicity can occur from excess of inorganic cobalt. It is found as the food contaminant. In the beer drinkers, cardiomyopathy, enlarged heart, and congestive heart failure, these have been traced to the cobalt introduced into the beer. During manufacturing, the failure have been traced to the cobalt introduced into the beer during manufacturing. There is increased intake may affect the thyroid and it can cause overproduction of RBC. As previously explained, there should be a balance. There shouldn't be any deficiency or there shouldn't be any overproduction. So, thickened blood, increased acidity in the bone marrow. These are the deficiency and the toxicity symptoms. So, neither too much nor lesser is recommended. So, the average diet should contain 5 to 8 micrograms. So, next we'll see the importance of the nickel. In the vitamin cobalt, importance can be discussed on cobalamin, and it has been explained basic on that vitamin B12. Now let us see the importance of the nickel. A protein containing nickel occurs in blood serum of man and other mammals. Source and distribution. Nickel occurs trace amounts in human and animal tissues. So previously, nickel, it has come under non-essential element. The functions are not clearly known, hence these are non-essential elements. Sometimes these are toxic. A protein containing nickel occurs in blood serum of man and other mammals. The enzyme, the Jackdine urease, contains nickel in extremely low concentration. This enzyme is present in number of plants and bacteria. Enzyme catalase and hydrolysis of urea. The oxidation state, once if you see nickel in this enzyme, urease, it is plus 3. A redox inactive nickel unit contains octahedral nickel as base acid for substrate binding. Nickel active nickel unit centers present in the other enzymes. You can even find in the bacteria. Nickel does not accumulate with age in any human tissue or the lung tissue. It is poorly absorbed from intestine. It is excreted mainly through feces. It is found in bacteria, hydrogenase, dehydrogenase, methyl coenzyme M reductase. Hydrogenase from methanogenic bacteria gives EPR signals, which is consistent with unusual nickel 3 oxidation state. Nickel contains an octahedral coordination from nitrogen and sulfur donors. Nickel is present in CODH enzyme, 4 iron 4s clusters. Methyl coenzyme M reductase catalyzes reduction of methyl group of methyl enzyme M, ethane sulfonate to methane. The methyl coenzyme M reductase catalyzes reduction of methyl group of methyl enzyme M-methane sulfonate to methane. So nickel is one of the most cancer-causing metal. Sorry, nickel found in many nickel ores is carcinogenic in human beings and other animals. It protects body from oxidative damage. Low GTH pH in the platelets leads to the bleeding disorders and edema, swelling due to damage of the capillary membranes. It protects phagocytes from destruction. GTH pH protects islands, tissues, and neurons from damage. So hydrogen is from methanogenic bacteria gives CPR signals, which is unusual nickel plus 3 oxidation state. Never you can see nickel plus 3 oxidation states. So this is the biological significance. The bacteria, in the enzymes, in the body, we have observed. Now, let us see the importance of copper. After iron, zinc, copper is the third abundant element in the body. Copper acts as the active metal center in large number of coenzymes. Ceruloplasmic enzyme contains 70 to 90% of total copper in normal plasma. The intense blue protein, it is associated with glycoprotein of alpha 2 globulin fraction of mammalian blood. It contains 1064 amino acids. We will see in detail the copper importance. The copper content it is 100 to 150 mg. Almost all the tissues it is present. Liver is the richest source of copper. Copper is important constituent for certain enzymes like cytochromes, cytochrome oxidase, catechase peroxidase, ascorbic acid oxidase, urease, tyrosinase, cytosolic superoxide, dimutase. It is necessary for growth and bone formation. It is necessary for formation of myelin sheets in the nerve system. It helps in the incorporation of iron in the hemoglobin. It helps in the absorption of iron from GI tract. Helps in transfer of iron from tissues to the plasma. Copper, it is present in the plasma as ceruloplasmin. Concentration of ceruloplasmin in plasma is 23 to 40 mg%. Copper containing protein in RBC is erythrocyprin. Liver it is hepatocyprin. And brain it is cerebrocyprin. So copper containing proteins in RBCs, different forms, RBC erythrocyprin, liver hepatocyprin, brain cerebrocyprin. We'll see the deficiencies. It is important transporter in plasma. Several copper enzymes receive their copper through this enzyme. So ceruloplasmin releases iron from liver storage sites. Oxidation of iron prior to complexation of transferrin. As an oxidant in blood serum, regulation of serum biogenic amines, growth promoter in some cells, stimulation of angiogenesis in coronary and in the cell culture. Acute deficiency of enzyme in serum reduces mobilization of iron from liver storage sites. It results in anemia. Such cases are caused by copper deficiency in rare human beings. So copper zinc superoxide dismutase is a small enzyme. It contains copper as well as zinc attractive sites. It has two subunits containing binuclear active sites of copper and zinc. These ions coordinated to separate N atoms, nitrogen atoms. Copper plays functional role while zinc plays supportive structural role. Now let us see the importance of zinc. Zinc is widely distributed in food. It is widely distributed in food, plant, animal, oysters, other seafoods, liver, white germ, yeast. All these are rich in zinc. Milk contains 2 milligrams of zinc per liter. It is helpful in the enzyme action, vitamin A metabolism, insulin secretion, growth and reproduction, wound healing, biosynthesis of mononucleotides, binding of regulatory proton to DNA, three unique motifs, zinc finger motif. Zinc is an integral part of several biochemical important enzymes. It decreases inflammation, suppresses abnormal tissue growth, it boosts healthy immune function, it supports progesterone production, it is essential for balancing estrogen, reduces risk and development of any cancers, esophageal, bladder, breast cancer, skin cancer, prostate cancer, head and neck cancers. It supports P53 gene which protects against the breast and prostate cancer. It inhibits angiogenesis, stimulates apoptosis. So carbonic anhydrase, liver, alcohol dehydrogenase, glutamate G dehydrogenase, uricase, carboxypeptidase, kidney phosphatase. All these are the zinc is an integral part. Insulin is known to contain zinc, and in diabetes, total amount of zinc in pancreas can be reported reduced to half. In leukemia, zinc content of leukocytes is reduced to 10% of normal amount. So leukemia process is accompanied by rise in zinc content of these cells to normal. Poor body and for growth and marked decrease in catalase activity, kidney and liver has been reported in mice placed at weaning time on diets, a very low in zinc. And on the basis of the studies, daily intake 0.3 grams per kg of the body is recommended. So for per kg body weight has been suggested. Due to wide distribution of the zinc in the nature, the amount is less contained in the diet. So the deficiency symptoms are spots on the fingernails, you can see, low energy, just like magnesium, insomnia, deficiency of zinc, infertility, loss of taste or smell. Here now we are seeing the loss of taste or smell, it is due to zinc deficiency. Skin rashes in this corona pandemic situation, you can see loss of taste or smell. Even this is a symptom of zinc deficiency. Loss of hunger, appetite, lowered immunity, poor memory, sinus problems, allergies, breast and prostate cancer, loss of libido, frequent cold and flus, abnormal hair loss, slow thinking process. All these are the deficiency symptoms for the zinc. So Ginkgowit is a tablet which provides the good supplement of zinc and it supports the immune function, and various cellular functions. A whole grain, wheat germ, soya beans, brown rice, spinach, shrimp, cheese, lentils, chicken, carrot, sunflower seeds. These are the rich zinc foods. As we have seen here, the zinc deficiency and excess, how it's the zinc deficiency, brain, you can say decreased nerve conduction and neuropsychotic disorders. If it is deficiency in the brain, you can see decreased nerve conduction, neuropsychiatric disorders, neurosensory disorders, mental lethargy. And coming to the zinc deficiency, thymus atrophy and zinc deficiency on the skin lesions, decreased wound healing, acrodermitis. Zinc deficiency can even affect on the reproductive system. Infertility, retarded genital development, hypogonadism are the deficiency for the zinc. Systematic symptoms also can be observed. There is growth retardation, immune dysfunctioning, and infections can be observed. And the next one is if zinc is excess, even this can cause problems. The first that is caused for the brain is lethargy. If zinc is excess, lethargy, focal neuronal deficiencies, respiratory tract disorders. If it is excess, it affects the respiratory disorder after inhalation of the zinc smoke. Mental fume fever can be observed. And zinc excess can also cause problem in the gastrointestinal tract. Nausea, vomiting, epigastric pain, diarrhea. All these are the gastrointestinal tract. And in the prostate also, the zinc excess can cause problems. Elevated risk of prostate cancer. And if zinc is excess, the systematic symptoms observed are copper deficiency and lymphocyte function. Alteration we can see. This is about the importance of zinc, the functions and the deficiency symptoms. And what are the zinc rich sources? And what happens if zinc is deficient and zinc is excess? Okay, I hope you have understood my class. So today's class, what I've explained is importance of iron. So importance of iron. Iron, how much it is important and the clinical importance and its functional forms, non-functional forms. What are the rich sources of iron? Functions, deficiency symptoms, FC. And similarly for the cobalt, how it is coenzyme part of the enzyme, how it is in the between B12, the structural part of the between B12, and the functions uses deficiency of the cobalt and its toxicity were discussed. Importance of nickel, sources distribution, how it functions in the body, how it harms were discussed. Similarly, importance of copper. The functions of the copper, deficiency symptoms, how it is a part of the enzymes were discussed. And importance of zinc. So how a zinc plays vital role and what are the different functions and what are the deficiency symptoms and what is its functioning and deficiency symptoms. The zinc rich sources and if it is excess and deficient, how it affects the human body. We all discussed. So this is the end for this session. I hope everybody have understood. Thank you for sparing your time in the class.